Good morning and welcome to Living Local 15. Thank you so much for tuning in today. First up, I am taking you inside of Big Kid Bricks to learn all about their collectible items and finding the perfect gift for the holiday season. Then HealthMarkets Insurance Agency teaches us all about Medicare through our Medicare Because We Care series. And later, it's Women's Wealth Wednesday with Foster Financial, and we're discussing rebalancing your portfolio just in time for the new year. Are you ready? Let's get started.
Fashion, food, and fun. You're watching Living Local 15 with your host, Jessica Williams.
This segment sponsored by Big Kid Bricks. Did you know that Legos is the #1 collection toy item? Well, I am here at Big Kid Bricks, which is Lego World. They offer everything from Legos in a box, you can create flowers, and so much more. And today I'm going to go deeper to learn about their custom mini figurines that you can collect and also great gifts for the family. Let's have some fun. I am now here with Will Dawson, who is the owner of Big Kid Bricks. Hey there, Will.
How you doing?
Okay, so I love learning about your store.
Thank you.
And so, in case this is someone's first time just really seeing the magnificent Legoland that we are in, tell me about Big Kid Bricks.
Okay, Big Kid Bricks, again, is we started about 12 years ago into the buy-sell trade Lego, but fell into the customizing. And what I mean by customizing, anything that Lego doesn't make is what we were wanting to do. And so there's a lot of figures that Lego didn't make, a lot of the B, C, D characters that they just are not going to invest in. And so that called us, along with the accessories. There's a lot of accessories that Lego wasn't making. A lot of the weapons for like the Star Wars, stuff like that, they're not going to do. And so it left it open for guys like me.
See, that's so cool. So we have to talk about this land of collectors, right? I didn't realize that it was such a popular collection item. So when I look behind me and I see all of the really cool ways that you've created it, people buy pieces to do what with? To trade them, to stack on their Legos at home?
To make mocks, to collect them, you name it. I mean, it's and they're drawn to it. But again, it's two things that they are not used to seeing. So like for instance, this is one of our queens from the Star Wars.
Yes.
This piece was 3D printed, base painted, hand painted, and then we print on the Lego parts, and then we also do a lot with fabric like the cuffs.
So that it's textured as well.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's a unique piece. Now Lego has done something similar to that, but not exactly that character. Same thing like this. This is an alien Jedi. This headpiece was 3D printed, base painted, and then we print the face on. And again, you know, it's not done by Lego, it's done by us. So.
Yes, and done by you here.
Yes,
and that's the coolest thing.
In Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Yes, which is like, I look at the detail and there's so many levels of creativity and artistry that goes into making these. And I look and I have to point out, one of my favorites is this lineup of the Power Rangers. Oh my goodness. I used to love the Power Rangers as a kid. And so looking at these, like this will be a really cool collector's item.
Yeah, there's a big fan base.
Yes.
Yeah, I help you with that. There is a lot of big fans on the Power Rangers. There's been many years of it for sure.
And we have to point out this chrome set that you all made. And so tell me the inspiration behind this.
Well, it's what Lego did a couple of chrome versions early on. They didn't do the hands chrome. The other thing is that they don't do printing on the sides, on the arms, back when they did the chrome figures. And so that drew us in. At the same time, you know, clients wanted them. But the problem was I could not get chrome Lego bodies in the States. We actually go to Poland, to a source in Poland to get chrome Lego parts, which they do a beautiful job.
Beautiful.
And then from there we do the rest.
Love that so much.
All right.
Okay, and then in addition, of course, to having these customized pieces that people can buy that's made, do you take requests if someone has an idea?
We always take requests, but we do not have anything offering yet.
Okay.
I say yet to Fort Wayne, but we would like to make our customers into minifigs because we do get requests. We just have to figure out a batch system to be able to do that.
I'm ready.
All right, all right.
Into a Lego. Yes, and then also when I look around, I see just a lot of different accessories from Lego cars, Lego homes. I mean, things that are pre-built, boxes that people can buy and build themselves.
So we moved in here this year. We opened up this store in May 4th, as in May 4th be with you. But we are a buy, sell, trade, and customize Legos. So what we have here is what you're not going to find in big box stores, what you would normally see at Lego show circuits around the country. And so we're buying built sets, we're buying bulk, we're selling built sets, sealed sets, gear. I mean, you name it, anything Lego, it's coming through our doors.
Okay, well, I have a big question to ask you because I'm looking at some of these boxes and how intricate the process would be. How long, on average, does it take for someone to build a whole Lego house?
You know, it really depends. It's always the piece count that people are drawn to and how big it is. But we have some sets here that would take a whole week, a whole work week to build some Lego. So if you want to take off work that whole week and build some Lego, come see us.
So a good 40 solid hours. Well, this is a great place to come for shopping for the holiday season and also just finding unique things that any age could actually play with and enjoy.
Yeah, any age. That's why Big Kid Bricks. The kid's my wife. Hank.
I love it. Well, thank you so much, Will. And if you would like more information about Big Kid Bricks, well, we'll have their website listed below. And if you mention Living Local 15 when you come in, they'll give you $5 worth of free accessories. And I'll see you after the break. This segment sponsored by Big Kid Bricks.
Have an idea for the show? Want to find out how you can be a guest? Contact us at livinglocal15@wayne.com.
Enjoy fun in the sun on Living Local 15. Become a tourist in your own city. Visit your favorite spots and have some fun with me. From kayaking to rappelling off a building, I show you ways to have an adventure in Northeast Indiana every weekday morning at 9 on Wayne 15. So join me, Jessica Williams, for Living Local 15.
Watch Living Local 15 with Jessica Williams weekdays at 9 on Wayne 15 and catch past episodes on wayne.com.
This segment sponsored by Kevin McIntyre, a licensed insurance agent with HealthMarkets Insurance Agency. I am at HealthMarkets Insurance Agency in Auburn, Indiana, and we are kicking off our Medicare Because We Care series. Each week, I'm going to speak to a licensed agent to discuss all things Medicare. What does it mean? What are the benefits? And so much more. Let's get started. Joining me now is Kevin McIntyre, who is a licensed insurance agent at HealthMarkets Insurance Agency. Hello, Kevin.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm great.
Good. Well, I'm thrilled to be here and to start this Medicare series because I feel that it's such an important topic and people may be wondering, what is it? What are the details? And you're going to fill in those blanks for us.
Yes.
So let's start off by you sharing about yourself and your practice.
Sure. Well, my wife, Erica, and I run our local agency office right here in Auburn, Indiana. And we get a lot of the same types of questions when it comes to Medicare, very common questions. So we thought it would be a good idea to hop on here with you and do a weekly segment where we answer some of those most common questions that we get on a weekly basis. And then we also, I would like to open it up to the listeners, to the viewers. If they would like to submit a question directly to me that could be answered on a future episode with you, that my email address is on the bottom of the screen. Feel free to email that question to me.
Yeah, I love that. That is perfect. So be sure to send over your questions and we will get those addressed each week. So I'm sure that people wonder, what is Medicare? How does it benefit them? What are the terms? What does it mean? There's a lot of confusion surrounding it. Do you see that a lot in your business?
Absolutely. Yeah, it happens a lot. Almost every person that I meet with has some level of confusion around what Medicare is, what additional plans are available, how will those plans work together. And honestly, no wonder, because they're getting emails and phone calls and texts and even seeing TV commercials all over the place. So it can be very overwhelming to somebody entering Medicare. And honestly, that's why my wife and I started this business, because we wanted to be a local resource for people, somewhere that they could come, meet face to face, maybe over the phone, but just a local presence. That they'd have somebody educate and guide them through that entire process.
That sounds wonderful. And I'm sure that your clients really appreciate you going through the extra effort and also creating this cozy environment to discuss their Medicare. And so let's start off with the basic question. I'm sure everyone is wondering, what is Medicare and who qualifies for it?
Sure, that's a great place to start. And a good place to start for people, if they want to do their own research, they can go to medicare.gov. And that has some really good resources for them. But to answer the basic question, what is Medicare? Medicare is a federal health insurance program, and it is available to people age 65 and older. It's also available to some people under age 65 due to disability or certain health conditions. But in its most basic form, and I can't go into great detail about either of these, but Part A is the first part of Medicare. It's divided into two parts. Part A is designed to cover inpatient care. Part B is designed to cover outpatient care. And when you have both of them together, you have what's known as Original Medicare. Now, there are certain times where you have enrollment periods where you can get in, and people may pay different amounts for Part A and B, but that is getting into the weeds a little bit here. But in its basic form, Medicare is Part A and Part B.
Okay, and so let's go in the weeds a little bit and talk about the different breakdown of the amounts, because you said different people may pay different amounts. What does that mean?
And that's one of the confusing parts about it. But both A and B do carry potential premiums. For most people living and working in the United States, if they've lived and worked here for more than 10 years, they qualify for premium-free Part A, which just simply means you don't pay anything for Part A. One question that I do get is, what if there's one spouse that works outside the home, but then another one that stays in the home and doesn't have that work history? You can actually qualify for premium-free Part A based on your spouse's work history. So that's a nice feature. Now, B is a little bit of a different story. B has a base premium that changes every year, but in 2024, it's $174.70 a month for Part B. And I say base premium because Part B premium can change based on your income level. And that's known as an IRMA charge. Again, we're going to get some acronyms here, but it's IRMA is Income Related Monthly Adjustment Amount. So if there's somebody watching that wants to know, hey, do I fall into that IRMA bracket, you can just type in, IRMA charges in the current year. They'll let you know where the brackets are and what you could be charged. But with the IRMA, one important thing to remember is that they look back 2 years on your income. So if somebody is retired, they still may face IRMA charges if they were a high income earner a couple years earlier, because the government does look back 2 years. But for most people that I meet with, premium-free Part A, and then $174.70 is the base charge for Part B.
Okay. Well, that's great. Well, really great information and a great way to kick off this series. So thank you so much for this information today. And if you would like more information about HealthMarkets Insurance Agency, we'll have their website listed below. And remember to send your questions to Kevin. We'll have his email address listed below as well. And stay tuned each week as we continue our Medicare series. And I'll see you after the break. This segment sponsored by Kevin McIntyre, a licensed insurance agent with HealthMarkets Insurance Agency.
Follow us on social media at Living Local 15.
This segment sponsored by Foster Financial. Welcome to Wealth Wednesday, providing you with holistic financial advice. And joining me today is Caleb Doan, the Vice President of Foster Financial. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Good, doing good, thank you. Okay, so today we're going to talk about something interesting, which is rebalancing. What is rebalancing?
So this is something that we use at our firm with all the money that we manage in our clients' accounts, but it's also something that applies if you're just someone who's working, has a 401k, and you're saving for retirement. And so when we think about kind of your portfolio structure, usually we think about the percentage of stocks and the percentage of bonds. And that really determines your overall risk, right? So, I mean, a common one that we'll see is as people get close to retirement, and even in retirement, you might have a 60-40 split, 60% stock and 40% bonds. The bonds are the more conservative piece, and it's basically supposed to kind of even out the fluctuations that we'll see in the market. But when we've seen lots of movement in the market, like over the last 15 months, we've seen the market go up pretty substantially, it can make you out of tolerance, where maybe a year ago when you last rebalanced, you were at that 60-40 structure, and now the market has gone up. And of course, the part of your portfolio that has gone up the most is going to be that stock side. And so that used to be 60%, but now that grew. And so now maybe if you look at your portfolio, it's a little more like 70-30 or 80-20. And so now maybe you're a little bit too aggressive or too growth oriented. And so that could make sense to do a rebalance where you harvest the gain, you basically sell from that stock side, and then you invest back in the bonds.
Okay, so what time of year is best to kind of assess if you have to be rebalanced?
Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of kind of rules of thumb. Some people say rebalancing quarterly is the best, every 3 months. We kind of dictate that based on what the market is doing. So depending on what our outlook is for the market will help us determine, hey, do we want to rebalance right now? If the market has gone up, when you rebalance, typically that means you go a little bit more conservative. And then the reverse is true if the market has gone down. But a good rule of thumb, a lot of times in people's 401k, you can even set it to auto rebalance every quarter or something like that.
Oh, okay, that's pretty cool. And so talk more specifically about the accounts that can be rebalanced, because we're not just talking about like your checking savings, your money market accounts, CDs, or is this like literally investment accounts?
Yeah, this would be the investment accounts. The CDs would come into play. Those could be on the conservative side of the portfolio, but a lot of times this would be in your IRA, your brokerage account, your 401k. It would be those kind of retirement accounts that we typically think about, mostly those ones that can have stocks and bonds inside of them. And so anytime that you reallocate and rebalance the account, you're kind of, setting back to your original allocation. Hey, I want to be at 60-40. We've harvested some gain, and now we can go back to that 60-40 allocation to make sure that you're not too risky in that account.
Okay, gotcha. And so what are some of the top methods or strategies really that you all kind of try to tackle when you're looking at different portfolios? And of course you look at such a variety of ones, but what is the common one? Yeah.
So I mean, some of the strategies with rebalancing that we use, when the market is going up, there's certainly a temptation to say, hey, the market is just always going to go up, right? I don't want to miss out on any of these gains. But of course, as we know, just like in 2022, the market dropped down. And so when we see the market go up like this, it means that people are slightly more growth oriented, slightly more aggressive than they were the last time that we rebalanced. And so the biggest strategy is basically harvesting that gain, taking some of those gains off the table, and then putting them in that conservative bucket, so that if we were to have another 2022 where the market drops, you were able to save some of those gains, put it in that conservative side, and then ideally that conservative side is not going to drop if the market drops.
Right. So the conservative way would be kind of holding it and not so much reinvesting it or making it more of a chance. So I kind of think about it like if someone is, gambling or like playing slots or something, and you win a bit, don't keep spending. It's like take your winnings, set them to the side, and only play the quarter machine with the first couple of quarters that you started off with, right?
Play with the house's money, take the chips off the table. So
Okay.
it seems like the stock market and gambling, it's like they always have similar analogies there too. So
I know, I'm like, how can we break that down? I guess that way, yeah.
yeah, I'll say the stock market has produced a lot more winners than what gambling has produced. So
Good, yeah. That's so great. Okay, so this is just something though that people can bring to you. You say that it's automated, but first they have to set it up with you before it really rolls.
Yeah. A lot of times in a 401k, people might be defaulted into something like a target date fund or something like that. A lot of times we'll help them reallocate their portfolio to the desired allocation, and then we can help them with that rebalancing going forward.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you so much, Caleb.
Yeah, thank you.
Telling us about rebalancing.
Yeah.
And if you would like more information about Foster Financial, we'll have their phone number listed below, and I'll see you after the break. This segment sponsored by Foster Financial.
Living Local 15, proudly driven by the Kelly Automotive Group. Go to the Living Local 15 page on WANE.com for recipes from the show, to watch a segment again, and to get information on products and services featured on Living Local 15. Content segments during today's Living Local 15 were paid for by these sponsors.